In the deep void between stars, there were many great councils of alien races. These councils ruled clusters of worlds, guided trade, and controlled fleets. They believed they understood the galaxy, for their maps stretched across countless light years. But one small blue planet stood like a mystery in their records. That planet was Earth. At first, Earth seemed unimportant. It was marked as young and unadvanced. It had no great empire, no mighty fleets, no colonies across space. By all measures, it should have been harmless. Yet there was a problem. Every time scouts were sent there, they vanished. The first mission was dismissed as an accident. A single small ship entered Earth's region, reported sight of cities on the surface, then the signal cut off. The council said it must have been a failure of engines or a storm in space. But when the second mission ended the same way, doubts began to grow. The third ship lasted a little longer. It sent strange words before silence we are seen. After that, no one dared to say Earth was ordinary. The alien council gathered inside a vast chamber of silver walls. Long tables stretched around a glowing map of stars. Different species sat in their seats, some with scaled skin, some with feathered faces, others with long thin limbs. All were tense. 6 scout ships lost, said Vorun, a leader from the outer worlds. His voice carried across the chamber. Not destroyed. Not drifting. Lost. No wreckage. No signals. Nothing. A being with crystal eyes shifted uneasily. We are explorers of the galaxy. There are no planets we cannot study. Why should this world be different? It is primitive. It has no star fleets, no wormhole gates, no high technology. Its people are bound to one small planet. Yet our scouts vanish. Explain that. No one had an answer. The council began to argue. Some said Earth had hidden weapons. Others said unknown forces guarded it. A few even whispered that humans were not what they seemed. Vorun silenced the voices with a wave of his hand. We must understand. We must know if this planet is a threat or if it holds secrets we can use. Another mission must be sent. But this time, it must be careful. We will not repeat mistakes. Reluctantly, the council agreed. A new scout ship was chosen. It was small, quick, and cloaked in advanced shielding. The crew was hand-picked trained spies, skilled pilots, and sharp thinkers. Their task was simple: enter Earth's orbit, watch from a distance, and report everything. No contact, no interference, no mistakes. When the scouts were told of their mission, silence filled the hangar. None wanted to go. They had heard the stories. Some called Earth cursed, a place where ships simply disappeared. Others said humans could reach into ships with unseen power. But orders were orders, and scouts had no choice. The ship lifted from the council world and vanished into the dark. Days turned into weeks as it traveled through the void. The crew sat in silence, whispering their fears. Each wondered if they would be the next to vanish without trace. At last, the blue and green sphere of Earth came into view. Clouds swirled around its surface. Oceans glittered like silver in the sunlight. From space, Earth looked calm, almost peaceful. One scout named Rollo stared at it through the view screen. "It looks so small," he said. "How can such a world trouble the galaxy?" Another answered, "Do not be fooled. Small worlds may hide sharp teeth." They stayed behind the moon, hidden in shadow. Their ship's sensors reached down to scan the planet. They saw cities glowing with light, ships moving across oceans, towers rising into the sky. Humanity seemed simple, bound to its world, yet the scouts felt uneasy. As they worked, the ship's instruments picked up something unexpected. A signal reached them from Earth, faint but clear. It was not a random broadcast. It was directed. It was aimed exactly at their position. The crew froze. No one spoke. The captain checked the controls again. This is impossible. We are cloaked. We are hidden. How can they see us? The signal repeated. It was steady, patient, like a knock at a door. Not a warning, not a threat, but a message that said only one thing: we know you are here. Fear spread through the scouts. The records had not lied. Earth was not blind. Earth was watching. The captain gave orders to retreat, but before the engines could fire, the signal grew stronger. The ship's lights flickered. Controls froze. And then, without sound or warning, the transmission ended. The ship floated in silence above the blue planet. The scouts looked at one another. None could explain what had just happened. They did not know if they were safe, or if they had already stepped into a trap they could not escape. Far below, on the surface of Earth, men and women watched from hidden stations buried deep in mountains and seas. Their screens glowed with the image of the alien scout ship. They spoke quietly, without fear. For them, this was not the first visitor, and it would not be the last. The galaxy believed Earth was weak. But Earth was not sleeping. Humanity was awake, and it was watching the Watchers. The alien council was restless. The loss of another scout ship stirred fear in every chamber. 6 ships were gone, and now the 7th had sent only a faint signal before falling silent. To the galaxy, Earth was no longer a simple blue planet, it was a shadow that swallowed scouts whole. Inside the great hall of silver, leaders gathered once again. Tall pillars stretched to a high ceiling, glowing with pale light. Voices echoed as each species argued about the danger of Earth. One leader with wings of glass struck the table. Enough waiting. We cannot let one small world insult the councils. If we send fleets, we will uncover their secrets at once. Voron, calm and steady, leaned forward. His dark eyes glowed with thought. No, a fleet will be seen. A fleet will be noticed. If Earth is prepared, then fleets will only fail like scouts. What we need is not firepower. What we need is patience. We must learn what Earth truly is. Others murmured. Some wanted war, some wanted silence. At last, Voron's words carried weight. The council decided to send another mission. But this one would not be like the last. The chosen ship was smaller than a fighter, shaped like a black shard, built with the newest cloak that bent light and heat. Its crew was only 4. They were not just scouts, they were shadows. Each had trained for years in silence, watching, and disappearing without trace. Their leader was Tayran, a careful mind who trusted skill more than luck. With him were Sara, who read signals better than any machine, Bryn, a pilot swift as thought, and Darrow, whose hands could repair anything. Together, they would fly into Earth's orbit and remain unseen. Before they left, Voron himself came to speak with them. His tall form moved with heavy steps as he entered the hangar. The ship stood behind him, dark and sharp like a dagger waiting for the void. You must not fail, Voron said, his voice steady but sharp. Do not try to speak with humans. Do not reveal yourselves. Do not trust what you see. Watch from the dark and send your knowledge back to us. Only then will we understand why Earth swallows ships. Tayran bowed his head. We will not fail. The ship rose from the council world and vanished into the endless night. As the stars stretched around them, the crew spoke little. Each carried the weight of lost scouts in their minds. Each wondered if they would be next. Weeks passed. The ship slid quietly through the dark, hiding from all sensors. When Earth finally came into view, the crew grew silent. The planet hung in space, bright and alive, with white clouds swirling across oceans of blue. To Bryn, the pilot, it looked beautiful. To Sara, it looked dangerous. They moved behind the moon, where shadows kept them hidden. Their instruments reached down, scanning the surface. Towers glowed with light. Machines moved across oceans and skies. They saw millions of humans walking streets and gathering in cities. At first, everything seemed simple. Humans were still bound to their planet. Their ships did not cross into space. Their technology was not like the Council's. But there was something strange. The signals of Earth were strong, too strong. Waves of sound and light poured into the void. Some were music, some were voices, some were codes. But buried inside those streams were patterns that made Sarah's eyes widen. "These are not random," she whispered. "They are pointing outward. They are reaching to the stars." Tehran studied the lines on her screen. "But not toward us." "No," she said. "Not yet. But these are not simple. These are built to test, to search. They are trying to see who listens." The crew grew uneasy. It was as if humans were calling into the dark, waiting to hear who answered. Later, as the scouts circled behind the moon again, something strange happened. A signal touched their ship. It was faint, almost like a whisper, but it was clear. Darrow checked the shields. "Impossible. No one should see us here." The whisper repeated. Sarah listened, and her face grew pale. "It is not noise. It is not a mistake. This is directed at us. They know we are here." Tehran's voice grew firm. "Stay calm. They cannot reach us. We are safe behind our cloak." But the words felt empty. The crew remembered the other scouts. Every one of them had thought the same thing. Every one of them had trusted their ships, their cloaks, their shields. And every one had vanished. The whisper stopped, leaving silence. The crew held their breath, waiting for something more. But no more signals came. Bryn, uneasy, turned the ship slightly, engines quiet as wind. "We must leave orbit. We must test if we are being followed." The black shard of a ship drifted away from the moon, sliding into deeper shadow. For hours they moved, but the silence continued. No signals, no trace, no chase. Only Earth turning slowly below, watching with patient eyes. Tehran looked at the planet through the screen. "They know we are here. The question is, why are they waiting?" No one answered. In that moment, each of the scouts felt something colder than fear. It was not that humans had seen them. It was that humans had chosen not to act yet. And somewhere below the clouds, in hidden stations deep under mountains and seas, humans were watching. They let the alien scouts move, let them listen, let them believe they were free. For Earth had a plan, and the galaxy had not yet guessed its depth. Far below the stars, on the surface of Earth, humans watched in silence. Their stations were hidden in the deepest seas, inside hollow mountains, and beneath layers of ice. No light marked their presence. No signal escaped without purpose. From these secret places, Earth tracked the skies. For years, humans had known they were being watched. The first alien signals had been caught by old radio towers long ago. At first, they seemed strange noises, patterns that made no sense. But with time, the patterns repeated, and humanity understood the truth: something out there was looking back. Earth did not panic. Instead, it prepared. Quietly, nations that once argued found reason to work together. Scientists built machines that could see beyond the atmosphere. Engineers created arrays that stretched like webs across oceans and deserts. From space, Earth looked ordinary, but beneath the surface, it had become a fortress of knowledge. Now, inside one such hidden base, men and women sat around glowing screens. The room was silent except for the hum of machines. A large display showed a dark shape moving behind the moon, the alien scout ship. "They are here again," said Commander Hale, his voice calm but firm. His eyes never left the screen. "Seventh contact. Same path, same caution. They think we do not see them." Beside him, a young officer named Myra nodded. "Cloak is advanced, but our grid holds them. They cannot hide from us. The commander folded his arms. Good. Let them believe they are unseen. The longer they watch, the more they reveal. We will not move first. Every word was measured. Humanity had made a decision long ago: observe, study, and learn. The alien scouts were not enemies yet, but they were not friends either. And until Earth understood their purpose, no visitor would leave with knowledge of human strength. High above, the alien ship drifted silently. Its crew thought they were hidden, but every move was marked by human eyes. The watchers on Earth tracked their scans, their whispers, even the faint heat of their engines. Nothing escaped the grid. Meanwhile, in the scout ship, Tehran's crew grew restless. They circled the planet, watching cities through sensors. They saw towers of glass, machines of steel, people moving in endless streams. To them, humans seemed unprepared for the stars. Yet the memory of the strange signal haunted them. Siro leaned over her screen. I feel as if they are not only living on the surface. There are shadows we cannot read. Some signals vanish into the oceans. Some into mountains. These are not random. They are too well hidden. Tehran frowned. Are you saying there are stations we cannot see? I am saying they may be watching us as we watch them. Her words brought silence to the cabin. No one wanted to admit it, but the thought pressed heavy on their minds. On Earth, Myra adjusted her controls. She traced the alien scans, letting them probe only what humans wanted them to see. Energy grids disguised themselves as natural storms. Communications hid beneath the noise of ordinary radio. Humans gave just enough to feed the scouts' curiosity, while the truth remained buried. Commander Hale watched the readings. They grow bolder. Each orbit is lower. Soon, they may test us directly. Shall we disable them? Asked Myra. Not yet, the commander replied. His gaze stayed sharp. The council behind them is waiting. They want answers. We must decide what answers to give. If we end this too quickly, they may come with fleets. If we wait too long, they may discover too much. Timing will decide everything. The alien ship continued its slow dance across the sky. From their vantage, the scouts believed they were the hunters. In truth, they were the hunted. That night, as the ship crossed above a sleeping city, Bryn, the pilot, looked at the glowing lines below. Do you see them? He asked softly. Lights spread like stars. Do they know we are above them? They know, whispered Siro without turning from her screen. I can feel it. Tehran stayed silent, his eyes on Earth. Every moment deepened his unease. The humans below looked so fragile, yet the silence around their ship was heavy, almost deliberate. It was as if Earth was holding its breath, waiting for the right moment. In the hidden base, Myra's voice broke the stillness. Commander, they are scanning the city. They are reaching deeper. Shall I feed them the mask data? Hale gave a short nod. Yes. Let them see only what we allow. A planet simple, a planet slow. But do not let them touch the deep core. Myra's hands moved quickly, sending layers of false signals into the air. To the alien scouts, Earth's defenses looked weak, confused, even careless. But behind that mask, a network of power remained untouched, unseen. As the alien ship drifted away again, the humans in the base shared no relief. They knew this was only the beginning. More scouts would come, and with them greater risks. Humanity was prepared, but preparation was not the same as peace. Commander Hale looked once more at the glowing shape of the ship on the screen. His voice was quiet but strong. They think we are not ready. They think we are prey. Let them believe it. When the time comes, we will show them what humanity truly is. Far above, in the cold silence of orbit, Tehran and his crew felt the same chill. For all their training and all their cloaks, a single truth pressed in on them: the longer they watched Earth, the more they felt Earth was already watching them. The alien ship circled Earth again and again. Each pass brought it closer, though the crew argued about the danger. Tehran, the leader, tried to remain calm, but the longer they stayed in orbit, the more his unease grew. It was not only the signal that worried him, it was the silence that followed. Silence could hide many traps. Inside the cabin, Sarah stared at her screens. Strange patterns moved across them, appearing and vanishing too quickly for normal signals. "I am picking up interference," she said softly. "It is not natural. Something is bending our scans." Darrow leaned over her shoulder. "Can you clear it?" She shook her head. "It is as if the planet itself is answering us. We scan them, and something scans us in return." The words made the air heavy. Bryn, the pilot, glanced at Tehran. "If they are answering, Captain, then we are no longer the hunters. We are the ones being hunted." Tehran said nothing. His eyes stayed on the screen showing Earth below, glowing under the sun. It looked harmless, peaceful, almost beautiful. But beauty could deceive. He had lived long enough to know that. Hours passed, and the crew decided to take a risk. They lowered their orbit to see the surface more clearly. Cities stretched below them, lines of light weaving like rivers. Across the dark oceans, ships left trails of brightness, and in the countryside, clusters of small lights marked towns and villages. Then the ship's systems flickered. The lights inside dimmed, and the engine control screens froze for a moment. The crew froze too. "What happened?" Bryn asked quickly. Darrow's hands flew over the controls. "Power fluctuation. But there is no damage. It felt as if something touched us from outside." Sarah's voice was tight. "Not something. Someone. The signal is back. It is stronger now." The cabin grew cold with fear. The strange signal hummed again, faint but sharp, threading through their systems. It was not random, it moved like a hand across their ship, touching each system one by one. "Shut it out," Tehran ordered. "I am trying," Sarah replied, fingers racing. "But it is not breaking in. It is only looking." Those words made the crew shiver. A signal that could look without breaking meant a power beyond their knowledge. The ship's windows glowed faintly as the planet below seemed to shimmer. For a brief second, each scout saw something strange. It was not a city or an ocean. It was a vision of humans. On the streets below, people walked calmly, as if nothing unusual was happening. Yet as the scouts looked closer, they felt the humans were not walking at random. Their steps were in patterns. Their eyes looked upward, as if they could see the watchers in orbit. Sarah gasped. "They know." Bryn whispered, "They are waiting for us." The vision faded, and the ship's systems returned to normal. The crew sat in silence, hearts pounding, each afraid to speak. Tehran broke the stillness. "Record everything. Every detail. We must send this back to the council." But even as he said it, he knew the truth. The other scouts had tried the same. They had tried to send reports. None had ever reached their council. Something had stopped them. Far below, in a hidden mountain station, humans observed with calm eyes. Myra studied the alien ship's struggle. "They felt it," she said quietly. "The probe reached them." Commander Hale nodded. "Good. We needed to see how they respond. They are skilled, but they are not prepared for what lies beneath the surface." "Shall we act?" Myra asked. "Not yet," the commander said. "We wait. The longer they remain, the more they will fear. And fear is a powerful teacher." In orbit, the alien scouts argued. Bryn wanted to leave at once. "If we stay longer, we risk becoming like the others. Lost, gone, nothing left." But Tehran shook his head. If we return empty, the council learns nothing. We must understand what we are facing. Only then can we warn them. Sarah's eyes stayed on the screens. Captain, what if the council already knows? What if the others tried to send warnings, and Earth silenced them? The thought hung heavy in the air. The ship drifted once more across the night side of the planet. The crew stared down at the glowing cities, each light a reminder of the humans below. They looked fragile, yet they carried a presence that pressed on the hearts of the scouts. As they passed over another city, the ship's sensors picked up something new. A small object rose from the atmosphere, moving with precision. It was not a missile, not a satellite, but something stranger, an orb of light, smooth and silent, rising to meet them. Bryn's hands tightened on the controls. Captain, it is heading for us. Hold position, Tayran ordered, though his voice was low with doubt. The orb stopped just short of their ship. It did not attack, did not move closer, only floated in the void. For a long moment, the two ships faced each other in silence. Then, without warning, the orb released a single pulse of light. It was not a weapon. It was a message. On Sarah's screen, symbols appeared, shapes unknown, yet strangely simple. They are speaking, she whispered. What do they say? Asked Tayran. She stared at the screen, her heart racing. Only one thing. They say. Leave. The orb vanished back toward Earth as quickly as it had come, leaving the alien ship alone in the dark. No one spoke. The crew sat frozen, the word burning in their minds. Leave. But none of them knew if they could still leave at all. The alien ship floated above Earth, silent and tense. The pulse from the orb lingered in the crew's minds, a warning that chilled even the bravest among them. Leave, it had said. Yet no one knew whether leaving was still possible. Tayran's hands rested on the control panel, shaking slightly. We came to observe, he whispered. But now, observation may be our last act. Sarah leaned over her console, scanning every signal, every flicker of energy. The interference is growing, she said. Every minute we stay, it gets stronger. Earth is not ordinary. It is, prepared. Bryn gripped the controls tightly. We are not safe here. Every scout that went before us vanished. They did not just disappear by accident. Something on this planet took them. Darrow's eyes moved over the systems, trying to find a way out. Engines are fine. Shields are fine. Sensors are fine. There is no physical threat we can see. Yet something is stopping us. Something we cannot touch or hit. It is, everywhere. Tayran sighed, his mind racing. We cannot panic. We must remain calm and try to gather as much as we can. This mission is too important to fail without understanding why the others vanished. Hours passed as the ship circled Earth in careful patterns. The crew scanned oceans, forests, and cities. Each area seemed ordinary, yet they felt the invisible presence pressing against them, guiding, watching, and controlling. Suddenly, the ship's instruments went wild. Lights flickered and screens flashed with impossible data. A strange vibration ran through the hull, soft but insistent. The crew froze. What is it now? Bryn asked, voice tight. It is not natural, Sarah said. The planet is, reacting to us. Our systems are being affected without contact. There is no force, no weapon. Yet every part of the ship knows something is happening. Tayran looked down at Earth. Clouds moved across continents, cities glowed, and oceans reflected the sun. Everything seemed peaceful, yet the danger was unseen. We need to move higher, he ordered. We cannot stay in low orbit while this, whatever this is, grows stronger. Bryn adjusted the controls, but the ship did not respond immediately. It drifted, then slowly followed his command. Every second felt stretched, heavy with tension. Then, as the ship passed over a wide desert, a strange phenomenon appeared. Light beams shot from the ground, reaching toward the ship. Not weapons, not missiles, just beams of energy, sharp and clear. They did not strike, but instead surrounded the ship, scanning, probing, measuring. Shields! Darrow shouted. The shields were already up, but the beams did not touch them physically. Still, the crew felt the presence of the scanning, as if the beams were probing their minds, reading their thoughts. Fear gripped the crew in a way they had never felt before. "They are learning about us," Sarah whispered. Her voice shook slightly. "They are not attacking, but they know everything we do." Taran swallowed hard. "Then we must act carefully. Retreat slowly. Do not make sudden moves." The ship moved back, but the beams followed, guiding the scouts like a predator guiding prey. No words were spoken. The silence of the crew was heavy with dread. They remembered the others. Every scout sent to Earth before had vanished. And now, it seemed, the same fate awaited them. Hours turned into days. Communications with the Council were attempted, but every signal sent out was absorbed or blocked. The galaxy waited for a report that would never come. Somewhere far away, the leaders of the alien races whispered to each other, concerned and afraid. On Earth, humans watched calmly. In hidden bases beneath oceans and mountains, every movement of the alien ship was recorded. Myra, observing the last signals, turned to Commander Hale. "They are trying to leave," she said. "But they cannot. The planet does not allow it." Hale nodded. "Let them try. Each attempt teaches us something. Each failed escape shows their limits. We must know how much they understand before we decide what to do." The alien ship continued to drift in orbit, but the crew grew desperate. Taran attempted a maneuver to leave, but the controls hesitated. Systems blinked in confusion. Darrow's hands flew over every panel, trying to override the interference, but nothing worked. The ship seemed tied to the planet, bound in a way they could not break. "They are not just defending," Sarah said quietly, fear in her voice. "They are alive in a way we cannot measure. The planet itself is awake." Bryn's voice was low, almost a whisper. "If we stay another day, will we disappear too?" Taran did not answer. He looked out at Earth, feeling the weight of the planet's watchful presence. It was calm, beautiful, and deadly. The scouts realized a truth they could not fully understand: Earth did not need fleets or weapons. Its strength was quiet, invisible, and absolute. And slowly, the crew understood why every scout before them had vanished. It was not the sky that had taken them. It was the planet itself. The humans below had built defenses that no alien could see, no council could predict, and no ship could escape. Above the glowing cities, oceans, and forests, the alien ship drifted in powerless silence. Fear settled in the hearts of its crew as they realized that Earth had claimed them already. They were the last to see what the planet allowed. And far below, humans watched, patient and knowing. They had seen this before. Every visitor who had come to spy on Earth had vanished without trace, and these new watchers would meet the same invisible rule. Humanity did not strike yet, but they were ready. And the galaxy would soon learn that no scout could ever return. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, the hidden stations hummed with quiet energy. Machines glowed softly, their lights reflecting off walls of steel and stone. Humans moved with calm precision, monitoring the alien scouts above. Every sensor, every camera, every signal was being watched. Nothing escaped the grid. Commander Hale stood before a large holographic display. The image of the alien ship hovered in midair, showing its orbit, orientation, and every movement it made. "They think they are observing us," he said, voice steady. "But in truth, we have been observing them all along." Myra, sitting beside him, nodded. "They do not know what they face. They believe their cloaks and shields hide them. But Earth's defenses are deeper than they can measure. Every scout before them vanished for the same reason. Hale's eyes narrowed. They are skilled. They have survived longer than most. But skill is not enough. We do not need to destroy them. We only need to guide them. To teach the galaxy that humans are awake. Far above, the alien ship floated silently in orbit. Terran and his crew were tense and uneasy. Every system felt watched. Every signal felt traced. They realized that nothing they did went unseen. Every movement was anticipated, every thought anticipated, as if the planet itself could read their intentions. Sarah's fingers danced over the controls. Captain, I cannot explain it. We are being observed, yes, but not attacked. It is as if something is controlling the atmosphere, the signals, everything around us. They are not human powers, but they are human-made. Someone designed this. Bryn frowned. So the humans below, they can reach into space? They can touch our ship without moving. It is more than that, Sarah said. They make us believe we are free, but we are not. They can decide when we leave, if we leave, and even what we see while we watch. Terran exhaled slowly, leaning back in his chair. All the others who vanished, they were not destroyed. They were captured, studied, or simply led away. Earth did not need to fire a weapon. They only needed control. And now we are learning that for ourselves. Below, humans worked quietly. Engineers adjusted energy flows that reached to orbit, bending light and signals. Scientists studied the alien scanners, learning from them even as the aliens believed they were the observers. Every trick, every device, every shield on the alien ship was being examined and countered by humans who had never left their planet. Myra watched the ship on her screen. They are trying to leave again, she said. They are testing the orbit, testing the environment, trying to see if we can be escaped. Hale shook his head. Let them try. Each attempt teaches us what they know, what they fear, and what they expect. The longer they struggle, the more they reveal. Humanity has waited a long time for this moment. Observation is our advantage. Above, Terran felt the weight of the planet pressing down. Every scan of Earth seemed to bounce back with unknown power. Systems glitched without cause, sensors twisted, and the ship shuddered slightly as if the gravity itself had grown heavier. They are everywhere, Bryn whispered. I feel it. They are not just on the ground. They are controlling everything above us. Darrow worked frantically, but every fix he tried was countered by the strange interference. It's not the planet, he said finally. It's them. Humans. They have built everything we are trying to use against them. And we cannot stop it? Terran closed his eyes for a moment. They are not monsters. They are humans. And yet they are stronger than any fleet we have seen. Stronger than the Council itself could imagine. They turned their world into a fortress. They turned technology into a weapon we cannot fight directly. Below, Hale and Myra watched the alien ship struggle. They still do not understand us, Hale said. We do not need fleets or armies. Humans do not need to attack to protect themselves. Every scout, every intruder is shown the truth slowly. Those who came before, they learned too late. These ones may yet survive, but only if they obey Earth's rules. Sarah's voice broke through Terran's thoughts. Captain, they are not attacking, but they are learning from us too. Everything we do, they understand and anticipate. We are trapped in a test we cannot see the end of. Terran's jaw tightened. Then we must record everything, report everything. And hope the Council understands before it is too late. In the station's deep underground, humans smiled faintly. They had already studied the last 6 scout ships, learning the strengths and weaknesses of the galaxy. Now, with the 7th ship, they would learn even more. The scouts above thought they were spies. But in reality, they were students in a lesson humans had prepared for centuries. Hale turned to Myra. Earth does not strike first. Earth waits. Earth observes. And when the time comes, we will rise with knowledge, strength, and precision that no alien can match. Humanity does not need to conquer the stars yet. The stars will come to know us in time. Far above, the alien scouts understood one truth they could not ignore. Earth was not ordinary. Humans were not weak. Every lost ship, every vanished crew, every silent failure had taught the same lesson. And now, Terran and his team faced the revelation firsthand: humanity had prepared for the galaxy, and the galaxy had yet to notice how awake Earth truly was. And silently, the blue planet turned beneath them, patient, calm, and infinitely powerful in ways the galaxy could not measure. The alien ship floated silently above Earth. Terran and his crew sat tense, exhausted, and aware of a truth they could not deny. Every system, every scan, every attempt to communicate had been anticipated by humans. Earth was not ordinary, and the scouts finally understood why every ship before them had vanished. Sarah stared at the display. "Captain, they are still not attacking. They are only watching. Waiting. Controlling everything we do." Terran nodded. "I know. And that is the power we did not expect. They do not strike, yet they decide our fate. They are patient, careful, and far more capable than the Council ever imagined." Below, in hidden stations around the globe, humans observed quietly. Commander Hale and Myra stood together, watching the last scouts struggle. Each movement the aliens made revealed more about their technology, their strategies, and their limitations. Humanity had not needed fleets, weapons, or open war. They had waited. They had learned. And now, the galaxy would learn too. On the ship, Bryn finally spoke. "Captain, what now? We cannot leave. We cannot report. We cannot even fully understand what we have seen." Terran closed his eyes. "We do what we can. Record everything. Learn as much as possible. And survive if we can." Cyril looked at the signals again. Strange pulses of light moved through the ship's systems. Not harmful, not destructive, only guiding. The humans below had decided when the aliens could move, where they could look, and even what they could see. It was a control they could not fight. "Every one of the previous scouts," Cyril whispered, "they learned too late. We may be next, if we do not leave soon." But leave was impossible. Every attempt to lift from orbit was slowed, redirected, or cancelled by invisible forces. Earth's control was complete. Every signal from the galaxy outside was blocked or altered. Every path to freedom had been cut. And then, the message came. Not through sound, not through text, but as a vision across their screens. Humans appeared below, calm, confident, observing without fear. Their hands did not reach for weapons. Their eyes were steady. The message was clear: Earth is awake. Leave or remain, but know the truth. Terran felt it in his chest. This was not a threat. This was a statement. Humans did not need to destroy them to show strength. Humanity had prepared, learned, and controlled a world so carefully that no alien could challenge it blindly. Dara whispered, "So every scout before us, they were guided." Sarah nodded. "Yes. Earth did not need to fight. They only needed to decide what we saw, what we knew, and when we disappeared. And now, it is our turn to learn." Bryn shivered. How can a planet do this? How can humans, without fleets or weapons, control so much? Terran looked down at Earth's glowing cities, oceans, and forests. They are not just humans. They are prepared, patient, and wise. They are awake. That is enough. Commander Hale, far below in the mountain station, spoke softly to Myra. "They will remember this. The galaxy will remember. No species that sends scouts to Earth will ever demand answers again. Let them leave if they can. If not, they will learn without destruction. And humanity will rise, not with war, but with knowledge and patience. The alien ship's crew tried to lift from orbit one last time. Systems hummed, engines strained, but the invisible force of Earth held them steady. The planet itself seemed alive, not in biology, but in intelligence, in strategy, in preparation. No weapon could match it. No fleet could challenge it. Only understanding, only patience, only awareness could approach the power of humanity. Scifi sighed. We cannot report. The Council will hear nothing. Terran nodded. Then the galaxy will think we failed. And in some ways, we have. But we also understand what the others never did. Humanity is awake. And that is more than any fleet could teach us. The alien ship drifted slowly, powerless but alive, above the shining blue planet. Every system, every crew member, every thought was observed, anticipated, and guided. They realized the lesson Earth had given all visitors: do not spy on this world. Respect it, or vanish into silence. Far below, humans continued to watch. They had learned from every scout before this one. They had prepared for the galaxy without leaving their planet. And now, Earth's message was clear: not a threat, not an attack, but a lesson. The planet did not need to strike to show power. It only needed to exist, awake and prepared. The galaxy had sent scouts, curious and brave. Every one of them would return with only one story: Earth was unlike any world they had known, and humans were stronger than any council could imagine. And as the blue planet turned beneath them, calm, patient, and silent, Terran and his crew understood the ultimate truth: Earth would rise on its own terms. The galaxy could wait, but humanity would not be underestimated. The stars around them seemed brighter, not because of light, but because of knowledge: the knowledge that the greatest power sometimes lies not in fleets or weapons, but in patience, awareness, and the will to defend quietly, yet completely. And the galaxy would remember.